I call the Wednesday, November 16th, 2022, Board of Control meeting to order. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mayor Bibb.
Here.
Directors Griffin. Here. Abanama.
Here.
Kane.
Here.
Interim Director Kramer.
Here.
Acting Director Laird.
Here.
Directors Margolius.
Here.
Hernandez.
Here.
Hatton. Here. Jackson.
Here.
McNamara.
Here.
And Martin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Sounds like a trio of war generals there, huh? Director Abanama, please speak to your resolution.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor and Board. Department of Finance has 2 items on the agenda today, and Commissioner Larry Jones will introduce them.
Good afternoon. So the first item is for video surveillance software, performance monitoring software. We released a request for quote. We had a number of 6 proposals. We received 2 proposals. Both proposed the AI Argus software. This is a AI-based intelligence software. They have approximately over 1,500 video surveillance cameras. We monitor them by hand. This software will actually monitor automated process. So essentially, it will take 4 different snapshots, 2 during the day, 2 at night, and it will determine if the camera is up, if it's down, if there's objects, if it's blurry. This will greatly increase the efficiency in operations as it relates to responding to down cameras and also any repairs. The first year implementation is $63,000. After that, we're asking for the renewal, which is just the software licenses, which is about $50,000 for the next year.
Any questions on this item?
All right.
Here's the second.
Second item.
The second item is for the ADO, Automated Vehicle Location System. Presently, we have the Department of Public Safety, Public Utilities, and Public Works on this ADO system, approximately about 1,380 vehicles. So this project will now bring the Department of Public Works vehicles, approximately 327 vehicles from the department onto the system. This includes the hardware that relates to modems. This also includes the automated software tracking system. Everything's cloud-based now, so we'll be able to track the vehicles real time.
So that means after this is passed, if we pass it, I can track every vehicle in the fleet across the entire city?
Not across the entire city yet. However, this is the first step. This project focuses on public works. We've already working with Chief Tiedemann making plans for the rest of the division next year.
Okay.
And Mayor, to that point, I've been working with Bonnie and team to identify funding for the next 3 years to get every general fund vehicle this kind of technology.
Great. Fantastic. Any questions for the directors? Commissioner? Okay. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Stop.
Director Kane, please speak to your resolution.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Good afternoon. The Department of Public Utilities has 4 items for consideration this afternoon. First is number 3, fixing compensation to be paid for license fees, maintenance, and technical support services to the GE Prophecy software under prospective contract with Gray Matter Systems LLC, 1-year term starting January 1, 2023, not to exceed $294,275.72. Mayor, this is specific to Division of Water and Water Pollution Control, our SCADA system, and also the software for the PCCS system at the water plants. So it's the automation of all 4 of the water treatment plants, as well as water pollution controls pump stations through Gray Matter. The next 3 are all valves for the Division of Water, 14622, approving requirement contract with Lakeside Supply Company for certain items of valves and appurtenances for 6 months in the amount of $359,376.01. 14722, rejecting all bids received July 28, 2022 for certain valves, certain items of valves and appurtenances. And then finally, 14822, approving requirements contract to EJUSA for certain items of valves and appurtenances for 6 months in the amount of $133,377.99. Recommend approval.
Any questions for the director?
Director, is The 6-month term for the two recommended approvals, is that consistent with past practice, or are these shorter because of what's happening in the world?
It is definitely not consistent with past practice. Typically, it would be 2 months, but all of the rejections that were in the one resolution was because they could not meet the delivery specs of the 6 months. So the two that were awarded were simply the specific values that we need that could meet the delivery requirement.
Great. Any other questions for the director? Bar no questions, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Adopted.
Director Kramer, please read your resolutions.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, we have two pieces to present today. The first is setting schedule of rental fees for meeting room space at Cleveland Hopkins International and Burke Lakefront Airport. And so there's currently codified ordinance that dictates that this board sets fees and schedules for different meeting spaces at the airport. And so we are updating those rates. The resolution outlines all the different rates that we're proposing, and for this, we seek approval.
How many people are actually using Burke in terms of rental fees for room space?
You said Burke?
Yeah.
Not very many. I don't have an exact number, but not very many.
How about for Hopkins?
Hopkins, we do have a fairly regular amount of airlines that operate there needing space to meet or concessionaires, so we do have fairly regular use of those facilities.
Great.
How did you go about setting the rates, and did you check the local market or compare to other airports around the country?
Yeah, there was a process the team went through to compare rental rates and do their homework basically to determine that these are fair market rates for those spaces.
Okay. Any other questions for the director?
All right, my next piece then is 14522, rejecting all bids received on October 5th, 2022 for installing, maintaining, relocating, refurbishing, and repairing city-owned passenger boarding bridges used at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. For this piece, we did receive 2 bids for this contract, and both bids failed to meet the CSB participation amount. They also both failed to present a good faith effort to meet the goals of the project. And for this, we are recommending that we reject the bids and go out for rebid on this project.
Questions for the director on this matter? Bar no questions, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adopted.
Director DeRosa, what do you got for us today?
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, I have 2 matters here. One is a walk-on today. The first one is authorizing a contract with IKM Architecture for professional services for the design of the Rockefeller Greenhouse and Urban Forestry Capital Improvement and Master Plan, and approving various subconsultants not to exceed $519,687. And for this one, it's a look at the entire campus, some of which is going to be needed for the building facilities, including roof masonry, electrical, mechanical, and it'll be a phased process. So this will be the design consultant for that. The CSB goal is 10%, and they've committed at 22.2%, and also an FTE of 4.4%. And then the second one, the walk-on here, is authorizing a contract with Care Construction for the Frank Avenue extension project, which is between 105th to 101st Street, in an amount not to exceed $1,814,414.36. The CFB goal is 30%, and the CFB commitment is 30.5%. And we recommend approval.
Questions for the director? No questions, Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Adopted.
Acting Director Dye, please speak to your resolutions.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, members of the board. Public safety has two on here today. We are, recommendation number 6 is request to fix the compensation to Chronos Incorporated software licenses for workforce telestaff software for Department of Public Safety scheduling and timekeeping in the amount not to exceed $208,520.50. And we have Commissioner Jones.
Yes, so Telestaff is currently used by both EMS and fire. It's a automated scheduling system that allows for call-off, in-shift training, and keeping track. The division of police uses our code-red notification system. So essentially, everybody gets a text message, first person to respond to the shift. In addition, so incorporating Telestaff will greatly improve their operations as it relates to scheduling, time off, and different call-offs.
And recommendation number 7 is request to amend Border Control Resolution number 422-22, adopted October 12, 2022, authorizing a contract with Control Data Systems Incorporated for the EMS patient care reporting system by increasing the contract amount from $202,865.80 to $220,865.80. The original amount approved by the Board of Control was incorrect, as license and assessments excluded professional services in the amount of $18,000.
You answered my question for me.
Thank you. I recommend approval.
Any other questions for the Acting Director? Barring no questions, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Adopted.
Okay. Acting Director Laird, please speak to your resolutions.
Thank you, Mayor and Committee. The first resolution is will authorize the Director of Public Works to enter into a concession agreement with Town Park LLC to provide valet services for the Metro Health Cleveland Heritage Medal event. This event will be on November 17th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The fee for this will be $450 plus $5 per car.
Sounds awful low to me.
The $5 per car, or the $450, or both.
Any questions for the Acting Director? Got to get better about price. Kind of stuff.
This would cover the second resolution.
Next resolution.
Yes, next resolution is for the department to enter into contract with Goodyear to provide tires, tire service, tube service at the amount of $465,750. We recommend that this vendor be used for a 1-year contract with 2-year options.
Any questions for the Acting Director? Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Adopted.
Director Hernandez.
Hello. I am here today to move forward this land reutilization for a, there are four different parcels, and it's going to be used for a community garden with BMO LLC, and this is with Western Land Conservancy, a partnership. They received a $100,000 grant for community gardens, and so this is one of those gardens.
I love a good community garden. Any questions for the Director? Fine, no questions. Secretary, please call the roll.
All in favor of adoption of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Adopted.
Any other business before the board? Barring none?
My only point is that next week, although we're typically scheduled for Wednesday, it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We are going to move that to Tuesday so that we are not here.
Wait. I didn't know I ordered that. I'm kidding.
Okay, we're moving it to Thursday.
Me to table.
That's right. Yeah. Buffet, the whole thing.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
There will be a notice coming out officially.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Director